There's a storm brewing in Dalton, Illinois, one made of frustration, resilience, and a hard-fought victory for a small business owner. After months of being stonewalled, dragged through legal chaos, and subjected to outright abuse of power, Tiffany Kamar finally walked out of Cook County courtroom, holding the liquor licenses she fought tooth and nail to secure. Licenses she needed just to launch St. Patrick's, her family's long-awaited restaurant. But don't get it twisted. This wasn't some routine permit holdup or innocent clerical delay. It was a calculated power play by Mayor Tiffany Henyard, who also conveniently acts as Dalton's liquor commissioner, a role she's blatantly used to bully, control, and block business owners who won't play her political game. Things reached a boiling point when Judge Cecilia Heron issued a firm, no-nonsense order to Henyard. Sign the licenses by 5 p.m. on Thursday or face legal consequences. And what did Henyard do? She blew off the judge entirely, ignoring a direct court order like the rules don't apply to her. If you followed her reign, that won't shock you. Henyard has spent years treating Dalton like it's her personal empire, rewarding her loyalists, punishing critics, and using her title as a weapon against anyone who dares to push back. But this isn't just about one restaurant. I've spent over a year covering how Henyard has actively sabotaged local businesses, especially the ones she can intimidate or squeeze for campaign cash. Tiffany Kamar, a fellow black woman entrepreneur, found herself in Henyard's line of fire. But instead of backing down or walking away like so many others, Kamar dug in, and that fight led straight to a dramatic courtroom showdown with the self-proclaimed city girl mayor. Let's be real. What Henyard did wasn't a slip-up. It was deliberate sabotage. By holding Kamar's liquor licenses hostage, she blocked the restaurant from opening, robbed of thousands in lost revenue, and forced Kamar to drain even more cash into a brutal legal battle. And while Kamar walked out of court with a win, Henyard walked away with a criminal contempt charge slapped on her record. Naturally, Henyard's attorney, Max Solomon, jumped into spin mode, trying to shift blame with a weak excuse about another entity being involved in the paperwork. But let's use some common sense. People don't get charged with criminal contempt over a clerical mix-up. This was pure political power tripping, and this time it backfired. But Kamar isn't stopping at the licenses. She wants accountability, real accountability. She's pushing for Henyard to pay up for the damage done. The lost time, the lost income, and the legal costs that never should have existed. And honestly, who could blame her? Because when it comes to Henyard, it's like she thinks the law doesn't touch her. But this time, it did, and people in Dalton are hoping it's just the start. Let's be honest. If any regular citizen ignored a judge's direct order, they'd be behind bars right now. But this is Tiffany Henyard we're talking about, a mayor infamous for her defiance and ego. This wasn't a rare mistake. This is how she governs, through intimidation, retaliation, and complete disregard for authority. That restaurant could have been open months ago, creating jobs, boosting local revenue. Instead, Henyard sat on the licenses, flaunting her power like a self-declared monarch, while bleeding village funds with reckless spending. And don't forget the whistleblower who stepped up last year, revealing just how corrupt things have gotten under Henyard, under oath. It was revealed she told staff to block business licenses for anyone not aligned with her politically. You heard that right. If you didn't donate to her or back her agenda, she used her office to shut you down. That's not politics. That's corruption, plain and simple. One of those whistleblowers, Shaw Williams, wasn't just making noise. She backed it up with legal action. Williams is now one of 3 former village employees suing both Mayor Henyard and the village of Dalton. According to her, the workplace turned toxic when Henyard began pushing unethical and likely illegal demands, like refusing to issue permits or licenses to anyone who didn't donate to her campaign, or worse, anyone she just didn't like. And what happened when Williams called it out? Henyard demoted her to the water department, no less, even though she was the only one qualified to process business licenses. After gutting her role, they fired her. Now ask yourself, is this the behavior of a public servant or the actions of a political tyrant, drunk on power and bent on personal gain? Sadly, this isn't an isolated incident. In Dalton, this kind of abuse has become business, as usual under Henyard's rule. She's been using her authority like a weapon, silencing dissenters, punishing truth-tellers and getting away with it until now. Because Henyard's problems aren't just confined to courtrooms or angry ex-employees. Enter former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot, brought in by Dalton's Board of Trustees to investigate the financial train wreck Henyard left behind. And what Lightfoot uncovered wasn't just bad, it was explosive. Dalton, a village that once had a financial cushion, is now drowning in a $6 million deficit. That's right, $6 million in the red. And the list of financial red flags? Absolutely staggering. Officers getting paid so much overtime, it doubled their yearly salary. One single day saw $40,000 in Amazon charges. And the kicker? The village didn't even have an Amazon account. Nearly $780,000 in credit card spending between 2022 and 2023. With no transparency, no receipts, no answers. Lightfoot's investigation pulled back the curtain on what looks like a coordinated cover-up. Henyard and her inner circle misled both the public and the board about the village's finances. She even tried to shut down the investigation entirely, vetoing it, until the trustees overrode her decision. Why? Because she knew the truth would blow the lid off everything. And when Lightfoot followed the money, it all unraveled. That $40,000 Amazon spree, Henyard claimed it was for an ice rink. But guess what? The ice rink never opened. This isn't just sloppy management. It's deliberate abuse of power, of money, of trust. And Henyard didn't just wreck Dalton. She brought the same chaos over to Thornton Township, where she raised the township's credit card limit from $30,000 to $200,000 and spent like it was her own private account. So where's the oversight? Where's the state? The DA? The governor? Silent. Missing. The only ones holding the line have been Dalton's residents, the real watchdogs, the ones who refuse to look away while their community is picked apart and sold off. Since last year, people have been asking, when will the Fed step in? And here's what I'll say, they're already moving. The indictments landing on Henyard's allies aren't just coincidences. They're warnings. And believe me, sometime between April and July, Tiffany Henyard will be indicted. The pressure is mounting. The walls are closing in. And she knows it. So now I ask you, is it finally time for this mayor to face the consequences? Do the people of Dalton deserve justice for the chaos, corruption, and financial ruin she's caused? Let me know in the comments. And to everyone supporting this platform, Roland C., Creed Charles, A.G. Samuel, thank you. You help keep this story alive. If you want fearless reporting from someone who refuses to stay,